Hi, ladies. Just doing a really brief overview for those of you who missed the first day of the online course last night. We started working on the ICE acronym, which stands for investigate, consistency, and evaluate. So we're looking at the I, as I said to some of the ladies last night. It's not my job to tell you how to live, because we've all got a PhD in our own problems. And I'm sure that you have trawled the internet for different solutions, whether it's weight loss or goal setting or any health issues that you have. So inside you, you actually have the knowledge. But what happens is that there's a barrier between the knowledge that we have and implementation and actually creating some sustainable results. So if we look at the I want you to have a look at what you'd actually like to achieve. And I'm going to share my screen with you so that we can have a little look at the ICE program. Okay. So the first step is we're going to investigate. So this is week 1. And then in the second week, we're going to create consistency. So this is about setting a few little action plans in place. And then after 2 weeks, we're going to evaluate. So how I've broken this down, and there are lots of different models of the life wheel, bits and pieces, but I like to look at it as like gardening. Because I know in my gardens, if I don't consistently weed them, they become overgrown. And then I turn around and go hell for leather for a couple of weeks trying to clean them up. And then I leave them for months. So what I've realized as a human is that we need to consistently weed the garden so that it doesn't become a big job. The thing is, with all of these different gardens, is that they're all intertwined. And I'll give you an example. I had a client that was wanting to make some changes, wanting to give up smoking, but she was scared of giving up smoking because she wanted to lose weight. Now, she couldn't lose weight because she's struggling with fatigue. So if we have a little look at all these different gardens, they interweave, and especially for us mums that have a lot of different responsibilities that are sitting side by side. So what I want you to do, first of all, is have a look at one garden that you'd like to weed this month. Choose one garden and set a goal, and we're going to work through it. Okay. So once you've got your garden chosen, set a little statement. I want to lose weight. I want to feel more energized. I want to have more control of my time, whatever it is for you. And then write down your barriers. What are your current barriers or barriers in the past to actually taking action and being consistent in this area of your life? So take some time to do that. And then when you've done that, I want you to do a little bit of a meditation. I won't take you through it now. We did it last night. But what I want you to think of is the belief that sits underneath that. So for a lot of people that I know, especially mums, it's a lack of time. I don't put myself first. I don't feel valued. Whatever it is for you, you find the belief that's sitting underneath it. Okay, and I want you to really look at how that belief makes you feel, putting yourself last, feeling tired all the time. And then you turn around and I want you to project 1 year in the future if you continue to believe that. 5 years in the future, 10 years in the future, 20 years in the future. This stuff comes from what's called the Dickens process from a Tony Robbins course that I did. So it's not my creation, but it really works because we actually realize that if we don't change our mindset and the way that we are thinking, nothing changes. Once you've gone through that process, I want you to flip that statement on its head. So take the complete negative and turn it into, I am energized. I am in control of my time. I'm in control of me. I put myself first, whatever the opposite of that statement is for you. And I want you to imagine what your life could actually be like if you took that statement on. So this was the process that we worked through last night. And all I want you to do this week, this is your homework, is that I want you to notice all of the negative self-talk, everything that you're saying to yourself that is negative. I'm a bad parent, I'm lazy, I never achieve what I want, whatever it is for you. Just note down the self-talk. That's the first part of the homework. The second part of the homework is that I want you to turn around and find examples in your past where you are not that at all. Where you have not been tired, where you've put yourself first and it's worked, where you have got up in the morning and you followed a morning routine and you felt better in the day. Because we all have them. And the really interesting thing from the ladies I worked with last night was that we can feel like we're out of control in one garden, like the weeds are all over the place in our health garden. But then one of the ladies at work, she was totally in control of that garden. So she knows, inherently, we know as adults how to actually implement the structure and what's happening in the good garden to what's happening in the not so good garden. Okay, so I want you to notice. So first thing, notice the negative. Secondly, look for the positive in the past. How I explain this to the women is that you imagine that there's a little jockey, right, traveling down the track. It's got his whip, it's got the reins, little horse has got its blinkers on, and he is pulling you where he wants you to go. But what happens if that jockey is rogue? If that jockey is whipping you for everything you do bad? If that jockey is telling you to do something that you know isn't good for you, which we all do. So it's about understanding that that jockey is a part of your brain that sabotages everything that you want to do unless you control it. So I've given my jockey a name. His name is Nigel. And whenever he pops up, I turn around. If he comes in with a negative thought like I'm not good enough, I'll come in and say, hey, I am good enough. I helped so many people last week, or I've made my kids dinner every week, or I got out of bed when I didn't feel like getting out of bed when we were sick. So the jockey here, give him a name, and then bring in the counters to that thought process. So that's your homework for this week. Let me know how you go. I look forward to catching up next week. It's all about inquiry and observation. So put your Dora the Explorer hat on and let's go. Let's see what's really holding you back. Have a great day.